It's Christian Singer back again from CNH for another review video. This one deals with firearms. I got the firearm t-shirt on, and this will be a product review video for the SAM 7 UF variant specifically. The reason I'm making this video is because what I want to do was swap out the rear sight on here for my gun and put a Picatinny rail adapter so I can have a red dot mounted on here, similar to what I have right here off my other gun right here. This is a primary arms red dot. This is the MDADS version right here. I bought one of these recently to stick on this gun right here because unfortunately my eyes are not getting any better, and trying to focus on the iron sights at the front and the back ones, my eyes are getting a little bit funny and blurry when I'm trying to actually focus between the two. And putting a red dot definitely increases your ability to shoot accurately out there for that. And that's why I was upgrading to putting one of these things on my gun. I want to get a Picatinny rail to put on the back of the rear sight block itself. And what I did was I ordered a Armicon Picatinny rail from Legion USA right here for that. And unfortunately, right out of the box, I had problems with it basically fitting in the actual sight block itself right here for that, and I'll show you specifically what I'm talking about right now on it. Oh, there you go. Don't want to drop that. Don't want to do that, guys. The Armicon Picatinny rail is what you see right here. Is the one side. There's a top down. There's the other side right there as well too, and there's the back side as well too, and the bottom right here for that. Unfortunately for me, for this specific one, apparently they have like a powder coating on this thing right here, and because of that it was not interfacing with the rear sight block on my specific gun. This is a SAM 7 UF, I was saying before here, and what happens was whenever you put it down inside the rear sight block right here, it was not fitting at all in there, guys, and unfortunately I had to basically file and polish off, or I basically hit it with a wire brush, and I got some emery cloth, and I went up to about 1,000 grit sandpaper, and I eventually got to actually fit into the rear sight block right here. The only problem is it took me about an hour and a half to actually do a hand fitting on her, even though Legion USA lists on the website as no gunsmith needed whatsoever here for that, and unfortunately that was not the case whatsoever, guys. So it was not fitting properly from the factory, but now it is. However, I ran into another problem. See, this is how it's supposed to sit, basically right in the sight block itself. The only problem is I'm running to now is whenever you install the retaining nut, you have a retaining nut right here. This retaining nut goes up on, it actually goes up into the bottom portion of your sight block right here. And what it does is it interfaces with the hole right here. You have a, they actually give you two nuts. You have one nut, or let me rephrase it. You get one bolt, and of two different sizes right here for that. You have a bolt that's small, and you have a bolt that's large. This is a small one right here, and you have the longer one right here as well too. The guy online, Legion USA, the owner said they have that because of different variances for the AK, AKM, AK-74 and stuff like that. And unfortunately, whenever I mount this small retaining nut bracket up into the actual sight block right here, what is happening is the bolt carrier right here is actually rubbing on the actual thing sticking down right here for that, because apparently on the SAM 7 right here, they have an extremely close tolerances where the actual bolt carrier rides up inside of the actual housing right here. Let me demonstrate here for you right now. You put this thing fully up inside here, and what's happening is the bolt carrier is rubbing on the inside. This teeny bit on the bottom right here. I can even show you right on here from the actual wear I got my gun right here. It has very small wear marks rubbed right in here. And because of that, it's actually rubbing. It's a teeny bit inside of the actual sight block, and when everything's going back and forth in here, it's rubbing on the inner top portion of the bolt carrier. It's rubbing on the bottom portion of the sight block. Let me just rephrase that. It's rubbing the bolt carrier top is rubbing on the bottom of the rear sight, the base right there for that. And whenever you try to install the Picatinny rail up inside like so, right down inside here, this thing goes in there just like so. And what happens is the bolt carrier is hanging up on that, and this thing will not work, guys, in this specific rifle. I don't know if it may work on your AKM or AK-74 like stamp receiver variants, but for me it will not work on my SAM-7 UF, so it will not work probably on the SAM-7 SF as well too, because they're both milled guns. I own both of them right there for that, and this will not work whatsoever. So I tried to call the company up. I talked to the owner on there. He told me since I tried to install it on a gun and I was running the problem, he said, since you already installed it in a gun, you can't send it back. So I'm thinking, well, guy, you just told me on the phone here that this is a no gunsmith item on here, and I contacted one of my gunsmith buddies and I showed him the exact problem on it. He said that won't line up whatsoever, because the problem is, as I said before, the bolt carrier is extremely tight fitting inside of the actual gas plug. I said before, it was running a teeny bit on here. But what happens is whenever you put this piece right here, the retaining, we want to call it the retaining piece that retains the Picatinny rail up to the sight block, is this piece is rubbing just like that. It's actually rubbing on top. Let me show you side here. It's rubbing on here like this, and it will not allow you to insert the bolt carrier group into the sight block itself, guys. So I don't know, but that's one man's opinion right there. From that point on, Legion USA will not take it back, and Legion USA would not allow me to get my money back for this one specific piece, even though they claim it is a one-size-fits-all, no gunsmithing required whatsoever. But in my case, I just spent about an hour and a half's time polishing and sanding down these two pieces right here, one on the right side, one on the left side. You can see them, they're like almost like silvery right there. I spent about an hour and a half, and it would not, even after I did that, I installed it, and it sits better in the gun than now the actual sight block. But our problem is it will not align up, and it will not allow proper clearance for the bolt carrier group to go back and forth inside of the actual your tower back here for your rear sight block assembly right here for that. So from my standpoint right now, I'm probably gonna get a red heat kit snake, as I have in my other DDI AK, because that one works perfectly fine, and I do not recommend this Armacon. They call it the Armacon K2 on the back here. It's COVID check 2, I believe, on the website right here for that. So if you want to check that out, I'll put a link at the bottom of the page. Even though they claim it's one size fits all and it'll fit all AK variants out there for that, but that is not the case. It's false advertising, guys, and unfortunately I had to call them out on it, and I told them this is a complete bogus lie. So if you have a SAM-7 SF or UF and you have a milled receiver gun, this specific Armacon K2 Code Check 2 will not work for your gun, as I just demonstrated here. So please be advised of that fact. It will not work. If you're looking for some other kind of Picatinny rail, I would recommend the Red Heat Kit Snake, which actually snaps in place over top here. It actually snaps in top of your whole dust cover. If you want any reference to that, just go back in my videos, and you'll see a detailed review of that specific Picatinny rail adapter for my DDI AK-47, the actual underfolder variant right there for that. So if anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot, as usual, feel free to leave me a message here, and I'll try to get back. You probably within 24 to 48 hours about any details or updates about this specific part. But as of right now, I'm no longer a fan of Legion USA, because they will not allow me to return this piece, even though they supposedly back up what they sell, and I had to mod it because it would not fit my gun, and after I tried to mod to even fit in the gun, it will not work, and they will not take it back. So I'm sorry, guys, I do no longer represent, or I'm going to call recommend Legion USA right there for that. So if anybody has any questions about that, just drop me a message here, and I'll try to get back as quick as possible, guys. So I'll see you guys, and have a nice day.